Hello from Invincible Ink. Today we're here to teach you how to play our bluffing crime-em-up card game, the Botch. Botch is a game of bluffing, lies, and cards moving around in hidden spaces, so you're going to need a few things to play the game. You need at least 3 players. You can go up to 12, but for your first time, you want something smaller and easier to handle. Maybe 5. You need some way to track diamonds. A handful of counters, a box of matches, or if you bought our Crime Pays edition, diamonds. You might also need a way to show that characters have been hurt. I use poker chips for that, but you can, if you have a stable playing area, turn the cards to their side. You're also going to need some way a player can hide their hands from other players. If you're playing on a table, that'll be easy, but if you're playing, for example, on a bus or a plane, you might need to make some arrangements to look away when people are fooling around with their cards. We're going to start with the basic way to play the game. Take the following 5 roll cards. The boss, the cop, the heavy, the courier, the schmuck, and deal them out to each player face down. Then take the following 5 item cards. The evidence, the IOU, the gun, the crowbar, the dog, and deal them out to each player face down. Everyone should have 1 roll card and 1 item card. Your role is who you are in this little crime story, and that stays fixed once the game starts. Your item, on the other hand, is going to go on a merry little dance. When you get dealt your cards, you can look at them. Then, give every player 2 diamonds. Then, the game begins. Play starts with the youngest player. That's just a basic rule. If nobody wants to admit their age, that's fine. It's just a place to start. If you've got a better one, go for it. Fine, I'm not the boss of you. On your first turn, you have only one thing you can do. You can take another player's item card and do a swap. A swap is where you take your item card and someone else's item card, and out of sight of the others, so like under the table, you move them around and then return them to the table. This means you may have given them your item and taken their item, or not, and they don't know. What's more, they don't get to look. When you've made your first swap, you can flip over your roll card if it's an open roll. In this version of the game, everyone's roll is open, so flip it up to show that you've done your swap, and then move on. The game hands to the next player who can do the same thing. Once you've done that, and everyone's gone around once, the game opens up. Now you can, on your turn, do one of 3 things. You can look at your item card, you can swap your item with someone else's, you can use the action ability of a card. Easy. Except, see, your item card is face down, isn't it? How do you use the action ability of a card that you can't see? That no one can see? Well, that's where we come to the chaos of the botch. See, you don't have to prove you have the card. You could just say you have the card, and then it comes down to if anyone out there believes you. So let's say you want a diamond, and the crowbar has that sassy ability, action, get a diamond. On your turn, you could just say, I'm gonna use the crowbar to get a diamond. And then the people around the table have to decide if any of them believe you. This here, bluffing, is the heart of the botch. If someone doesn't believe you, they don't get to just say that. They have to be willing to call your bluff. You say you have the crowbar? Well, they have to claim that they have the crowbar instead. Since you can't both be telling the truth, you flip your cards over, and we see who's lying. When you flip your cards over, there are 3 things that can happen. First of all, you were lying, and they have the item that you said you had. You have to pay one of your diamonds into the bank, which we'll talk more about later, and your turn ends. What's more, you have to leave your card face up. It's now revealed. Second, maybe you were both lying. Well, you both put a diamond in the bank. You still have to leave your card face up, and they don't. Your turn still ends. You don't get to do what you were going to do. You get nothing. Good day, sir. Third, you might have been right, and they might have been wrong. In which case, they put a diamond in the bank, flip their card face down, and your turn continues exactly as it was going to do. Having your card revealed is a tricky thing. When your item is revealed, you can't turn it back down again, and you can't swap cards while it's revealed. Other people can swap it off you, take it away from you, turn it face down, and do a swap as normal. That's the only way to get a revealed card turned face down. The bank isn't the place the diamonds come from. It's its own little space where the diamonds from bluffs and a few items wind up. Diamonds by default just appear out of nowhere, or the pile if you're feeling cute. The bank is important because there are some characters and items that can steal out of it, and one character, the boss, considers all the diamonds in the bank to be hers. When it comes time to hurt people, that's simple. Everyone can be hurt once, and if they're hurt a second time, they're knocked out of the game. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. All their diamonds and their items leave the game, possibly sinking to the bottom of the bay. Now, normally you win a game of the botch in one of 2 ways. Either you get 10 diamonds, or everyone else at the table is dead. When you think you've won, that's an action. So you, on your turn, say, I've won the game, and reveal your items, roll, and diamonds to show that you've got enough. Some items can mess that up. You don't want to be caught with fake diamonds in your pocket, for example, or an item that says you can't win the game. One thing is that some cards say, when this happens, or whatever, like the IOU and the dog. They're cards a lot like other items, but you don't necessarily know if you have them. So when someone punches you, you can claim, I have the dog, to try and use its reactive ability. But just as with a normal bluff, someone can call your bluff, and even if they don't, you do have to flip up the card to use its ability. If you flip it up and you have the wrong item, well, whoops, you put a diamond in the bank and flip your card face down again. It's very embarrassing. The last major thing is threats. Some cards let you threaten someone. Threatening is really easy. You just say, hey you, give me a diamond because I'm holding, and then you name the item. So, for example, the badge. Then they get to decide if they believe that you have the item or not. If they believe you, they can give you a diamond to buy you off, and that's that. On the other hand, if they don't believe you, you have to show them your item. And if it's what you said it was, they have to give you 2 diamonds. And what's more, if the item you threatened them with is a weapon, you hurt them. Of course, you could be bluffing here as well. And another player, someone other than the threatened party, can try to call your bluff here too. When someone at the table has a hidden roll, you can spend your turn trying to work out who they are. You give them a diamond, and you guess a roll. Then you look at their card. If you guessed right, you have the choice of revealing their card or returning their card to them face down. If you guessed wrong, you just give it back to them face down, and they keep the diamond no matter what. And that's the game. Bluffs, lying, manipulation, cajoling, threatening, and begging. It's a mess in motion, and maybe you'll be the one that gets out of it with their pockets full of diamonds and all their teeth intact.